What's good, y'all? So most of you know I'm a barber on the go, so I like to have snacks or quick meals that I can get in between appointments because I don't be having time to eat a bunch of meals throughout the day. So I decided I'm gonna make a few videos just showing a few of the things that I eat on the regular or things that I meal prep. Today I'm basically showing y'all my version of overnight oats. So as far as ingredients, of course we got oats, chia seeds, flax seeds, got some cinnamon, got some salt. I got some blackberries, strawberries, and pine berries. I'm not gonna use blackberries in this, I'm just use pine berries and strawberries. And of course, we got these little mason jars. So for anything, opening all our jars. So I generally like to put in my dry ingredients first before the wet ingredients, especially because with the chia seeds and the flax seeds, they tend to thicken up when the liquid hits. So I start with like a tablespoon I start with a teaspoon of chia seeds in each little cup. I personally like my overnight oats less oaty and more seedy, you know what I'm saying? That's just my preference. So when I do put oats, I like usually in the recipes that I see, it's like half oats to half liquid. I put a little bit less than half oats because I don't like, I like oats, but I'm not that pressed about them. I really want more fruit and seeds in my overnight oats, for real. Usually I use almond milk and put a little bit of yogurt, but I happen to make my own almond milk yogurt here. So it's kind of like it's like a loose yogurt, and that's what I'm gonna use instead of almond milk. Got my oats, they're gluten-free oats, of course. I put like a little less than half a cup in each one, for real. Once you get a gist of like how you like it, start to kind of prepare and cook, if you can call this cooking, pretty intuitively. So we're gonna add some cinnamon here. Some salt, some Celtic sea salt. I personally like Celtic sea salt. All right, so that's dry ingredients. I don't exactly know how much space I have to work in here as far as volume with the liquid. So I put in the liquid last. So I don't overfill the jars with the fruit, I'm gonna put 6 of each fruit, chop them up, and then distribute it between the cups. Now we got all our berries, mixing them up. So I'm just gonna scoop them in here, put 2 scoops at a time. Now you can use your favorite sweetener. I like agave. And this is another thing I'm pretty intuitive about. Just drizzle. That I don't have an exact measurement. I just been using agave for a while, so I generally know how much I like. But then also, you can always add more later, you feel me? Now I'm about to throw in some of my yogurt. Basically gonna fill it up to this top line. Not quite the rim, just because I still want to be able to have some air in there, so when I stir or shake the jar, like, it actually mixes. But then also, because all the dry ingredients and the oats are underneath, it's gonna bubble, the air bubbles are gonna pop up. So you really don't know how much volume is in here until you mix it a little bit. See, it lose a little bit of volume. Or at least the yogurt starts to fill the little air spaces, air pockets. But I like to put my dry ingredients before my wet ingredients, because if I put my wet ingredients all together first and then I put my dry ingredients, I feel like it doesn't mix as well, doesn't incorporate as well. So I'm just gonna fill this up a little bit more, because I got a little bit more yogurt. I just want to treat myself for real, for real. This is basically empty, so I'm just gonna pour the rest of it in these. But really, this part's kind of unnecessary because you're about to see, we're really just gonna put the lids on and shake it. Sometimes the seeds be staying at the bottom, so I like to make sure I'm breaking all that up. Gotta put all the lids on. So this is the more fun part, where got the lids on tight and we just shaking. So it's like you can see there's a little bit of seeds down there that kind of clump together. They're breaking apart a little bit better now that I stirred it, but sometimes if you don't stir it, you'll just kind of miss those little bits down there. Shake all these jars, and then throw them in the fridge. They're overnight oats, so some people leave them overnight. Really, you can just leave them for a few hours, let the oats and the seeds soak and thicken. I usually meal prep them for like days later, so I'm usually not still eating them same day. Now I'm about to put all these jars in the fridge. I guess, movie magic, I'll show y'all the result. All right, so we're back a few hours later. We got our overnight oats, or afternoon oats, you know what I'm saying? I've never used this much yogurt, and this is the first time I used the yogurt I've made, you know what I'm saying, myself. So this is actually like I guess a new recipe for real for me, but it has all my favorite elements in what I believe are portions that I like. Okay, so this junk, bro, look at, man, I'm so glad I used yogurt, and I feel proud because I made the yogurt myself. It's very yogurty, very seedy, how I like it. That's smooth. Could definitely use more agave. But also now I'm thinking about it, I don't think the strawberries and the pine berries were that sweet, so I wouldn't be that surprised. That's just adding to the sourness, and then also like it's yogurt, you feel me? All right now, that's my shit. That's my shit. That's my shit. Y'all saw it here first. This is my new favorite version of overnight oats. This right here makes me excited about doing like Eats by Elvis shit. Like, I'm not even a cooking person, you know what I'm saying? But just, I've been making oats for like months, you feel me? But over time, I've been kind of tailoring like my taste and just finding what I like about stuff and getting excited. And I think that's the point of cooking, you know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not a whole chef, part of the reason like I say I don't like cooking is it feels kind of like a chore. Being a person who's gluten-free, dairy-free, has all these food sensitivities, I feel like I gotta make so many different accommodations. I've realized the gluten-free or dairy-free equivalents or alternatives of a lot of foods just isn't as good, you know what I'm saying? Like, or at least it doesn't give me the same satisfaction. Like if I'm really, 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 really in the mood for pizza, like I don't want a gluten-free, dairy-free pizza. I would say most of the whatever allergen-free alternatives of like regular foods I've been accustomed to, if it's store-bought gluten-free, it usually has a bunch of additives. The things that allow it to preserve on the shelf take away from the quality of the food. I just kind of got into a lifestyle of just eating whole foods, less processed stuff. So when I get the gluten-free versions of things or the dairy-free versions of things, it tends to be more processed than the thing that with the allergen for me, you know what I'm saying? I'm not actually allergic to gluten. It's a non-celiac gluten sensitivity. Technically, I'm allergic to dairy, but it's effectively lactose intolerance because like it shows up on an allergy test, but it don't really affect me much past like getting me bloated. Now I got so sensitive to things, I'd rather just go without the discomfort altogether. Eats by Elvis, overnight oats, gluten-free, dairy-free, hassle-free. Appreciate y'all. Till next time, craft over clout. I'm out.